Welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Bible. Now, today, we're discussing the seventh part of the 19th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, which is the 16th chapter of the book of Zion. This is the second part of the dissertation. And we take up where we left off with Psalms 143:3, which is Zion 16:6. For the enemy has persecuted my soul. He has smitten my life down to the ground. He hath made me to dwell in darkness, as those that have been long dead. This Psalms passage is telling us that my people are living in hell, literally. We live our lives in hiding. Many of us have chosen to work at night, in the dark. We come out at night, like horror show monsters. Many have adapted dark makeup and clothing to embrace the image of evil. When I read this verse, I see in my mind the Gothic movement, of course. But I also see a vision of a dark plane. I first found myself on this plane in 1979. Since then, I have visited it periodically. I move along a path in this vision. The path leads me to Zion. The vision starts black as space and as deep, but it leads us to the light of Zion, a bright and shining future. I stood on the edge of an abyss for many years in this vision. I first saw the alien ships in that place, across the abyss. I finally fell into the abyss and brought my Messiah out the other side. We have been walking that path ever since. Now, we stand at the edge of the dark, in the shadows of the light. The truth is about to set us free. The light is about to break forth. The abyss is far, far behind us now. That image is to be the cover art for this book. It is my passage to Zion, a vision given to me by the Gray to help me see the path that I should take and where I'm on it. The path to redemption and salvation and the future for the planet Earth, which is the planet Zion. Have I told you yet that the planet we call Earth is known as Zion to the rest of creation? I was given the name Zion because that is the name chosen by the galaxy for this planet. We are the planet Zion. Let me make this clear. I am named after the planet, not the planet after me. I represent the planet Zion to the galaxy. The image of the plane of Zion, which is the cover art for the book, is dark. The dire nature of the plight of the poor is illustrated in the artwork. The abyss of despair testifies to the deadly nature of poverty and the immoral behaviors of society, as well as the plight of the drug user. I represent that portion of society. That is my spiritual reality, the reality of society imposed upon me and my people. Psalms 119, 157, and 158 is Zion 16, 7 and 8. Many are my prosecutors and mine enemies, yet do I not incline from thy testimonies. I beheld the transgressors, and was grieved, because they kept not thy word. Psalms 119, 157, and 158 tells us that the state is relentless in its pursuit of the people known as Zion. They will not stop, ever. The more we use drugs, the more of us there are, the more prosecutors the state hires to imprison us. The powers and the size of the police force and the judiciary system has increased exponentially because of the persecution turned a war of genocide. But no matter how many government employees are used to hunt us down and rob us blind and to take our lives from us, we still do what the great created us to do. We enjoy their company, and we do the best that we can to promote joy, fellowship, peace, and beauty. The state cannot kill us or convert us all. We are Zionite by nature, and you cannot win against nature. Verse 158 is exactly how I feel about the truth of my people's plight. The sheer hypocrisy of the war on drugs is so evident to me that I'm appalled that any red-blooded patriotic American citizen would allow the United States government to treat anyone so inhumanely. Yet you do. You violate not only the Constitution of the United States with your laws that violate the Bill of Rights, but you violate the testimony of your very own professed sacred text, the Bible. The war on drugs is a biblically predicted human rights violation that is the actions of a predicted hypocritical nation foretold in the prophecy of Israel. Habakkuk 2, 3 to 16, Zion 16, 9 to 22. Behold, his soul that is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is a death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increases that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall not they rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for a beauty unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe unto him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house, by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe unto him that buildeth the town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. Behold, it is not of the Lord of hosts, that the people shall labor in the very fires, and the people shall weary themselves of every vanity. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. Woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken, also that thou mayest look upon thy nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be thy glory. Habakkuk 2, 3 to 16 is about the hypocrisy of alcohol use by those that prohibit marijuana use and other drugs. It starts out by saying that the soul of the people are not upright. They have never been truly right in their morality. These people consider themselves the righteous, but they are not. And the just, however, live by their faith. This is not to say blind faith, but a true belief in our way of life. The life to live a just life. That is the way of my people. Amongst ourselves, we are faithful to our beliefs and to each other. Prisons are full of the proof. Every prisoner serving time for drug offenses is a faithful Zionite. Verse 4 states that the people who created the war on drugs are users of alcohol. They are proud. They drink in public at bars. They then drive cars and kill people. These people are world leaders who succor in all the nations, spreading their poison to the entire world. They are greedy, power-hungry drunks who are never satisfied. This is, of course, America. Verse 5 illustrates the current worldview of America. Thanks to American greed and self-righteousness, the world hates us. And that hatred is growing thanks to Trump. We are fast becoming the laughing stock of the world. We are being toppled from our tall towers. As I write this, America is fast becoming a byword and a third-rate country. Verse 6 says that the American enemy will rise up suddenly and awake. This enemy will vex you and strip you of your beauty. In other words, you, America, are going to be stripped just as you have stripped the world with your greed and power plays. It won't be just Zion that gets restitution from America. Other nations will call foul and lay claim to what is theirs by right. The oil fields of Syria come to mind, as do a million other instances of America taking advantage of poorer countries. The Cold War is a good case in point. All of the nations subjected to American might will soon join the cause of Zion to stand against a corrupt nation that has ruled the world for far too long. America is about to go down. The next verse tells us that it is because of the greed of capitalism that America will fall. The Cold War saw the nations of America and Russia systematically taking over the power structures of the nations, dividing up the world between them. When Russia fell, America quickly took control of the world power source, but greed has destroyed them too. But it's not the world domination that will undo American power. It is the war on drugs, according to verse 8. It's the Zionite uprising that will destroy America. It is because they chose to rob their own people that they will be destroyed. The people who they abuse at home will be the ones that overthrow them. It is the unlawful theft of our property that is the seed of their destruction as a world power. And it is the self-destruct delusion of the American people that will be their downfall. The American people believe that they are great. They, being from a Christian mindset, believe that they are good people who don't have anything to fear. They are saved by their own self-righteousness. America is great, or so America believes. But they are wrong. They are a people who are very shameful, who do very shameful things in the name of profit, in the name of greed. America has cast out its own people into the streets, where they have to beg, borrow, or steal to survive. America sucks for what they do to the poor. Shame on you. America deserves to be destroyed for the many lives that it destroys on a daily basis. That is where we'll end. We'll pick up with verse 11. May the Ray watch you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May you always be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. May you always be happy and high. Know that I love you. Later, because I'll never say goodbye.